All right, Sci Fam, what's happening? It's me, your boy, Nickel here. And we've been looking at the brain, how it works, how it functions, parts of the brain regions, neurotransmitters, synapses, all that good stuff that's allowing our body to sense our environment. Well, we're going to dive in this time to some of the things that are actually really advantageous that relate to the teenage brain, because a lot of people are talking about teenagers this, teenagers that. You're not fully mature yet, you're still learning, you're still growing. Well, let's look at why the brain is still growing and trying to adapt to the environment. We're going to look at some evolutionary advantages of the teen brain. If this stuff really wasn't good for you, then it seems like, well, these traits wouldn't have been passed on as generations after generations reproduced. But this stuff is still around in the human species, so there must be some advantageous aspects of the teen brain being so different and changing. So let's title this page Evolutionary Advantages of the Teen Brain. And we're going to make a little table here where we're going to look at the adolescent, or we could call this another word for adolescent would be like teen traits, things that are pretty common for teens, and then why that's an evolutionary advantage. So teens are known to be risk takers. So we're going to write risk taking. And the evolutionary advantage of you taking more risks is that, you're more willing to launch from your parents' nest into what we call the real world. Now that can be kind of scary, but since the teen brain is willing to take more risks, then you're actually like, yo, mom and dad, yo, parents, I'm out. I want to go experience the world. Speaking of that, the second trait is sensation seeking. When I said you want to go experience the world, you want to go feel it and figure out what's happening out there. And so you have this strong desire to explore the world. And I don't mean like, you're going to travel across the world, but when I say this sensation seeking makes you want to explore the world, is you want to get out there and you want to just grapple with things on your own. All right. The third adolescent trait or teen trait is your ability for social networking. Your huge focus on your social network. Who are your friends? Who are not your friends? This is an evolutionary advantage because it allows you to create friendships, or maybe not friendships, but even partnerships with certain peoples or groups, and group affiliations. So if you're part of like a soccer team or a gymnastics squad, your groups, so your friends, people that you're acquaintances with, and then the groups that you're part of. Your social networking, your ability for social networking creates friendships, partnerships, and group affiliations with people that you will spend more time with than your parents. Because remember, you want to leave your parents' nest, go explore the world. So you're going to need some people out there to help you out. And your social networking skills as a teenager are going to help you. Number 4 is your reward seeking mentality, is you're looking for rewards. So this is just your want and your need for those big risks, for big rewards. And the evolutionary advantage here is that you thrive to gain natural rewards that will ensure your survival. Now, a lot of times we overlook this, but you know what? You've got to go out and you got to seek some rewards and understand how to get stuff and how to make yourself purposeful and contribute to other people, so that you can figure out ways to earn enough money so that you can have food, get warm clothes, and be able to stay warm in a house or clothing, whatever that might be, warmth, and water as well. A lot of times we overlook these things, but as we interact with the world and we get jobs and we contribute to society, it allows us to get those natural rewards where we can then gain access to food, warmth, and water. And the more rewards you get, the better food, the better warmth, and the better water you usually have access to most of the time. And number 5 is but teenagers are more interested in romantic attraction, or at least if you think about as you grow up, the teenage years is when romantic attraction really starts to ramp up. And the reason for this is because you want to start to connect with possible mates to possibly or potentially pass along genes, your genetics, to future generations. Or if that's not really your thing, it at least allows you to create or start finding lifelong partners. Someone who can help you throughout your life as you age and grow and mature into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, 110s, 120s. I'm sure y'all will live at least 150. All right, well, all of this stuff are evolutionary advantages, and one of the most important things of the teenage brain that is an evolutionary advantage is that it's a critical time for something called neuroplasticity. So you think about plastics, they can be molded into lots of different things. So neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to form new neural connections or neural networks in response to changes to your life. So as life changes, your body has to be able to respond to, your brain has to be able to respond to the new stuff that's happening in your life. And as a teenager, your brain is ready to go. It is neuroplastic, which means, you might have heard the old phrase, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, they should change it to, you can train a teenage dog new tricks. Yeah, that's right. You can learn pretty much anything you want as a teenager. Your brain's ready to go. So with that, I inspire you to take on the world. Go make a ruckus.